Hey, you guys, we're back. And previously in Numbers, we saw rebellion, punishment, and God's justice at work. But did the Israelites finally learn their lesson? Spoiler alert, they didn't. Today we'll witness another divine sign, a costly mistake by Moses, a major farewell, and literal snake situation. Let's get into Numbers 17 through 21. After Korah's rebellion, some people still weren't convinced that Aaron was God's chosen high priest. So God put the debate to rest with the miraculous sign. Each tribal leader placed a staff in the tabernacle, and by morning, only Aaron's staff had budded. It sprouted flowers and ripe almonds. If anyone still had doubts, well, they were out of excuses. Moving on. So once again, Israel had no water. And once again, they panicked. And Moses, well, he was fed up. God told him to speak to a rock and water would flow. But instead, Moses struck the rock twice. Water came, but so did consequences. And because of one act, Moses and Aaron were banned from entering the promised land. Leadership requires obedience, not just results. And if this news wasn't heavy enough, you guys, Aaron's time was up. God told Moses to take Aaron and his son Eleazar up Mount Hor. There, Moses transferred the high priestly garments to Eleazar, marking him as the new high priest. And just like that, Aaron passed away on the mountain. And when Moses came down without him, the entire nation mourned for 30 days. Aaron's leadership had ended, but his legacy, it would live on through the priesthood. So Israel just couldn't stop complaining. And this time, God responded with venomous snakes. People were dying, and suddenly they realized maybe they should have trusted God. They begged Moses for help, and God told him to make a bronze snake and lift it up. Anyone who looked at it would be healed. This moment foreshadowed Jesus. Just as looking at the snake brought life, looking to Christ brings eternal life. Nevertheless, God continued to give them territory. Now, before Israel even faced Sihon and Og, they won a battle against Canaan. The Canaanite king of Arad attacked them, and instead of panicking, Israel did something different this time. They made a vow to God. If you hand them over to us, we'll completely destroy their cities. And guess what? God gave them the victory, and they named that place Hormah, meaning destruction. Now, King Sihon of the Amorites came up next. Israel asked to pass through their land peacefully, but Sihon refused and attacked. Bad idea. Israel wiped them out and took their land. Then King Og of Bashan thought he'd fare better. Spoiler, he didn't. These victories proved that Israel wasn't just wandering anymore. They were becoming a conquering nation. But coming up next, a talking donkey, a sorcerer, and one of the wildest stories in Numbers. Stay tuned, you guys, and be sure to read ahead so that you have a heads up on the details.